Hey, beautiful soul. You're listening to the Rising into Mindful Motherhood podcast, your weekly dose of fertility wisdom. I'm your host, Dr. Katie Wood. I'm a barefoot mama bear, pharmacist, and integrative fertility coach. This is your go-to podcast for all things to naturally nourish your fertility, embody womb healing, and reclaim your feminine power to accelerate your path to pregnancy. My expert guests and I will be having intentional conversations to discuss the many facets of a thriving, fertile foundation, natural wellness, and how we grow and transform as women on our journey to motherhood. So let's dive in, shall we? Hello and welcome to Rising into Mindful Motherhood. I'm super excited to have you here for this episode. And what we're going to be diving into and talking about today is one, people projecting their fears and beliefs and thoughts onto you on your fertility journey. And two, what to do when you feel like you have done everything. There's nothing else you can do. There's nothing you can do to change your circumstances, aka your fertility, your chance of conceiving. And when you feel like your back is up against the wall, because let's be honest, this is happening all over the world, all over the country, and it breaks my heart every single time I see a woman basically stating and declaring that she cannot get pregnant because she was told X, Y, and Z, and that she simply cannot get pregnant because of this, and she was told this by her doctor. When I know the chances of them actually doing the steps it takes to figure out what is actually going on underneath that person's fertility are slim to none. And as you can see, I'm a little fired up about this because I see it so often. And I feel like when we are already carrying some traumas and maybe low self-worth about ourselves already, right? From things we experienced in childhood, conditioning, patterns, habits, programming that we are carrying with us into adulthood. And then you hear from your doctor that your AMH is too low, or your eggs are too old, or you have PCOS or endometriosis or unexplained infertility or premature ovarian failure. And then you add that on top of your already low self-worth, self-love. It's just like this snowball effect where we just feel so down, so discouraged, right? Discouraged. That is like, oof. I feel like that is just the poster board word for fertility struggles, is just feeling downright discouraged, desperate, frustrated, overwhelmed, like chaotic, chasing. So many things. So I want to tie all this into an example. So I am in a few fertility Facebook groups. I like to offer support where I can. And obviously it's limited. You can only offer so much support in a Facebook comment, but I do like to provide inspiration and support and love where I can. And a woman posted that she had a very, very low AMH and she was only 26, 29. I'm speaking this all from memory. And her AMH was like 0.0 002, something along those lines. And she was posting for advice and feedback and what can she do. Her doctor told her she can't conceive, her AMH is way too low, and she'll need donor eggs and all of these things. And I commented and I said, hey, listen, if you're in your 20s, and this is my belief, I think this is what we've seen in practice, and this is also my belief and inner knowing and trust that the body is always wanting to heal, and that there are limitations to what we know, what we accept as truth, and what we have available to us in terms of the Western medicine, conventional medical space. And I commented and just said, listen, at that age, for you to be that young, it was either 26 or 29, I can't remember, but still, that is young. And to have an AMH that low, that is a red flag to me. What is going on, right? What is happening within your body that is basically just completely kinking your fertility hose of energy and vitality and ability to create life? Like, right, something is just kinking that. And so I just, shared my thoughts and encouraged her to, hey, don't take this at face value. It's not as black and white as doctors, but I think they truly believe themselves. This is how they are educated and taught in school. Believe me, I've been through it. In pharmacy school, I had to decondition a lot of things that I learned in school. And we like to think it's just so black and white. Oh, my AMH is this, so there's no way I could ever get pregnant. So in my comment, just encouraging her to at least play around with the idea, right? It's all in due time. I think getting a diagnosis or feedback from your doctor, such as that, it is right up there with getting like a cancer diagnosis, the amount of stress it can put on the body. So just throwing out there like, hey, taking a root cause approach to this situation. And this is not just for low AMH. This is for all of the fertility complications. Like I had mentioned earlier, PCOS, endometriosis, definitely unexplained infertility because that doesn't tell us anything. Premature ovarian insufficiency or failure. The list goes on and on. Definitely poor sperm quality as well. It's not just for the ladies, it's for the men. And encouraging her to explore, like, hey, this is a red flag. Your body is communicating with you. I would recommend taking a root cause approach because I'm willing to bet if you figure out what is going on underneath, you're going to regain your fertility back. And someone commented on my comment and was projecting her shit everywhere, which is fine, right? This is what our ego is doing for self-preservation and self-protection of our identity and to keep us, quote unquote, safe. And she basically said, I believe she was also young, told she had low AMH, went to 5 different REs and was told all the same things all across the board. There's nothing you can do about your AMH. Could be nutrient deficiencies, but other than that, there's absolutely nothing you can do to improve your AMH and your chances of conceiving. And I kindly commented back and just said, if that is what you believe, then that is going to be your reality. And I know that if you are not in a place of this level of consciousness, it will not be received. It won't be received. It won't land in the body. Like, oh my gosh, you're right. This is what I'm telling myself. So, of course, this is what is going to be reflected in my external reality. But it's the truth. If that's what you believe, then that is going to be your reality. You're never going to improve your AMH or your chances of conceiving or whatever the diagnosis may be. And also to add, just because you went to 5 different doctors, they all likely received very similar education. They all probably have very similar protocols in how they would address a woman with low AMH. It's really not rocket science. They are very limited in the reproductive endocrinology space in one, what they are aware of, 2, what they are trained and able to even do protocol wise, and 3, what they're willing to even believe is possible. So when someone comes to me or I see comments, I will ask that question a lot. Did you take a root cause approach? And a lot of people will say yes. But I'm here to tell you that 9.9 times out of 10, I don't fully believe that, because doctors taking a couple of labs, doing a couple of tests on you is not enough to take a root cause approach. It's just not. So seeing that comment, I'm like, damn, if this woman feels this so strongly in her being that that's what she's sharing on other women's posts, basically asking what is it that they can do, there needs to be more women out there that have this underlying belief. And I'm here to wake you up and tell you, or acknowledge you and validate you that no, there are more things that you can do. Do not be limited and restricted by the limitations that are Western medicine. Yeah, I just feel like it is such a disservice to women all around the world for any condition. For any, actually, let's just make that everyone across the board. Like, whether it's fertility or diabetes or heart disease, there's just so many conditions where we are not getting to the root cause. What is it that is causing the imbalance, the dis-ease to begin with? Whew. So curious for anyone who's listening, if you can relate to this. Have you been told something similar on your fertility journey where you felt like, wow, I feel like I've done everything. I don't know what else to do. And my back is against the wall. There's nothing else I can do. Or maybe alternatively, you reached out for support in some of these fertility support groups and you weren't given that much advice that was really great or any like action steps that you could even take. I mean, I remember when I was struggling to get pregnant, that's all I wanted from my doctor was, please tell me, what can I do? And they just looked at me, saw my 28, 30-day regular cycle. Oh, you're healthy. On the outside, I appear to be a healthy individual, and they just wrote me off at that. They didn't even take any labs. So just encouraging you and wanting to take a stand for you and let you know that Listen, these symptoms, these diagnoses, they are all something going on at a deeper rooted level. It is essentially your body communicating with you that something is out of balance. Something isn't quite right here. Something needs to be looked at. And not just on a physical level, which is all you'll ever get in Western medicine, but also on an energetic level, on a mindset level, on an inner belief level, on a generational, ancestral level. It goes so many more layers deep than your AMH level or your testosterone level or your blood sugar level if you have PCOS or something like that. It just layers deep. And we are just like skimming the surface in RE's offices, in doctors' offices, in OBGYN offices. And it is such a gap in healthcare. So this has really inspired me to create a high touch, high level, magical, fertile VIP week experience for the woman who is a high achieving woman. You are determined, you are motivated, you know that being a mother is meant for you. It is on your heart. It is your desire because it is meant for you to have in this physical reality. It is yours, but you're just a little stuck getting there. And you've tried all of the things. You've tried the fertility diets, the detoxes, the incessant cycle tracking. Maybe you've tried some IUIs, IVFs. Maybe you've had some failed transfers. All of these different scenarios. And you're basically being told that your options are limited and that there's not much you can do. But deep inside, that that's not the full truth. You know that there is something more that can be done to restore your fertility, your partner's fertility, both sides, so you can create a beautiful, healthy baby. So I have created this amazing VIP week experience called Fast-Track Fertility Fix Root Cause Solutions with yours truly. And in this week, we're going to break it down into 3 phases. So phase number 1, fertility root cause mapping. So this is where we're going to be uncovering the hidden roadblocks to your fertility, right? We're going to gather all of the critical pieces of your unique fertility puzzle because this is not one size fits all, right? I'm talking your labs, any labs that you've had done, your functional test results, your BBT charts, your health history, your human design. If you don't know what that is, you can look it up or we will just dive into it together. And then what is going to result from that? We're going to have a super clear understanding of where your fertility challenges originate, paving the way for an informed, empowered plan. Now, I do want to note, if you've had labs done and you were told that they were normal, don't necessarily think that you're in the green because normal labs do not mean that they're optimal labs for fertility. So just keeping that in mind. So this is like a data gathering phase, really a root cause mapping. Phase 2, unlock your fertility code. So like I said, this is completely unique, personalized, and tailored to you. So we're going to turn insights from phase 1 into action with a tailored plan for your fertility success. So this is going to include a very strategic one-on-one session, and this is where everything is going to come together. We're going to turn your fertility puzzle into actionable steps. Now, like what I was saying before, both practically for the physical level, but also energetic action steps. So we can hit the head on the nail in all places, right? Leaving no stone unturned. And this is going to help remove barriers. What is getting in the way of you conceiving to begin with? Rebalance your body and help create a pro-fertility state within your body. So by the end of this phase, you will have a step-by-step implementation plan designed specifically for you and your goals. So no more running around, chasing, trying to find what is the next best shiny fertility step that you can take to improve your fertility. No, it's not just going to be trying this strategy, trying that strategy, trying what Karen shared in the fertility group. This is going to be laser focused for your specific needs, your body. We are all bio individuals, okay? And then phase 3 is embodied fertility activation. So aligning with your highest self and taking empowered action. So over a few days of Telegram support, which is basically like Messenger, you're going to receive intuitive guidance from me to fully integrate your unique fertility code into your daily life. Because it's one thing to learn something, it's a whole nother thing to actually implement it and put it into action. So we're going to elevate your fertility by focusing on embodiment and actually putting into action what your step-by-step plan is and bringing your body into energetic alignment to step into the version of yourself that is ready to receive your baby. So this is where the mindset comes in, your overall fertility energetics. A lot of times we are really just living from our neck up. We're constantly in our mind, our brain. We're not living in our body, which is where our fertility creative magic is flowing. It's where it wants to flow. It wants to flow seamlessly and effortlessly, but there are things that are kinking that fertility hose that I talked about in the very beginning of the podcast. So we're going to unkink this hose so then all of that fertile energy can flow through your body and basically bringing all of your cells, everything back online. It's basically like a town that was without power. It's nighttime, the power kicks back on, everything just starts lighting up. That is going to fast track your fertility more than you would ever know. So, for anyone who is listening to this podcast and wants to learn more and sign up, if you just mention the podcast, I will add on another 30 minutes on your one-on-one call, and we are going to finish with a personalized womb healing session so that you can activate and bring your fertility back online for effortless conception. And this is something that you will have access to and you can re-listen to, and it is just going to accelerate and fast track your fertility. So you can finally get that positive pregnancy test and finally sustain a healthy pregnancy, bringing baby home to you in your arms. And just something to think about. If you desire to have your baby by Christmas time in 2025, then you would have to conceive somewhere along the lines of the end of February, very beginning of March. And you can improve egg quality, sperm quality, In just 3 months' time, we are already more than halfway in November, December, January, February, and then half of November. You have about 3.5 months to get your body into this fertile AF state, right? No more being lost, being confused, being desperate, discouraged, frustrated. No. 2025, end of 2024 is all about clarity, confidence, conscious conception, bringing baby home into your arms. If you're like, hell yes, that is what I am here for, then find me on Instagram, DM me, Fix, Fix. I will share more details with you, and I will see if this program is a good fit. I only have 2 spots left, and the price is going up after 11/22. So Friday, November 22nd at end of day. Okay, so I have really, really juicy pricing right now. You have a couple of days. There's 2 spots left. You get the bonus of your own personalized womb healing session if you mention the podcast. And I am just rooting for you all wherever you are on your journey. I really want you to leave this podcast with the knowing, the thought, the idea, even if it's not fully landing in your body yet, just kind of like letting it simmer, that there are no limitations on your fertility. Those are only limitations and restrictions set by other people. They're not God. They're not you. They don't know your body as well as you do. Do not let them limit you in this one thing that you desire so much, to be a mother, to have a child. Don't let them take that away from you by setting these limitations on your fertility. We're done with that. We are leaving that shit in 2024. Okay? We are so done with it. Thank you for listening. I can't wait to connect with you in the DMs. Remember, DM me Fix, Fix, and I will see you on the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Rising into Mindful Motherhood podcast. If this episode resonated with you or gave you an aha moment, stop what you're doing right now and write a review. This simple act of kindness helps me get this podcast out to connect with as many women as I possibly can. I also have a special offer. If you send me a screenshot of your review, I will take $250 off one of my premium coaching containers. Let me know what resonated with you the most and why. So connect with me in my free Facebook community or tag me on Instagram. You'll find both listed below. Thanks again from the bottom of my heart for tuning in to this episode, and I'll see you next time.